This is a typical terrain you have in the Sahara Desert. And these are your drilling rigs you see operating all over the countryside. There's nothing but sand and rocks and a few jackals running there at night. And the country looks a lot like some parts of Arizona and California. This is a vent flare. They're flaring some vented gas. Probably quite a bit of oil still in it from their gathering plants. You see these all over the country, all over the desert, and I have some friends here with these astronauts that ask about these smoke flares we see all over the desert. You can see why they can see them so far away. If we had some wells here produce that much, it'd be nice. But all those people want is oil. They're not looking for any gas. This next picture you see will be the campsite of Hansen, and this is where the Allied forces met with the French forces during the war in World War II in North Africa. Now this is the main fire of the GT2, which is going some 700 feet in the air. It was making its own weather at the top. You could see its clouds from miles away. And this is what's left of a drilling rig. You put up safety precautions all over the countryside to keep spectators out and people that weren't supposed to be in there, keep them out. Now that's the 5-inch drill pipe that was blown out of the well. It blew it a half a mile from the location. And this is the site we have when we get there. You have to clear all this debris away. You see your main flow and what's left of the rig. And this fire was started from static electricity. The first thing we have to worry about is getting water. And we could find water only a half a mile away, but it was straight down. So the first thing to do is move in a rig and start drilling for water, drill into the Albion water sand. It took pretty good time to build this derrick, but the American rig builder would build that in a day or a day and a half. Now this is getting ready to pick up a jackknife rig for the first relief hole. Now, I think some of these were the 4X drilling, and any contractor we could gather anywhere in the desert. This well blew out in 1961, the month of November, and was finished in May of 1962. One thing we say, nobody was hurt or injured on this whole operation. Drilling into GT2, we drilled 3 relief holes. We started with 3 and wound up with 2 of them. Every time we'd work on GT2, we'd leave the country. We'd go off to Nigeria. We'd go to East Pakistan. And this is your directional driller right here. That's his chart to tell how far down he is and how far off he is from the bottom. And this was the main thing we were shooting for. Now this is a campsite at the well. It usually accommodated, say, about 30 men. By the time we finished, I think we had 200 to 300 men in there. And these are our water pits to hold the water which we were drilling for. These water pits were about the size of a football field. We had 3 of them, and they were about 10 foot deep. You would dig these pits into the earth, and you would cover them with this polyethylene to keep the water from seeping out. And that's one of the prettiest landscaping jobs on water pits I've ever seen. And we didn't lose any water here. One thing, this water was just a shade brackish, but after in the sun, it cleared up real good, and the board had a nice place to go swimming.
Fred, how far are these pits from the Devil's cigarette lighter?
They're just about a mile away. And that's where we set up all of our big pump, and the whole operating system was right in this area.
Looks pretty close from here.
Well, it does look close, but that's how far it is when you get over there. Now, this is your entrance into your camp. We had safety men there to protect you. As you come in, check your card. You couldn't get in without a card. And as you come into the work area, you had a button. Anytime you left that work area going toward the well, you had another button. You would leave the old button and pick up a new one. That way they always knew you was, here's a man doing the job now. Now, this is something we never had to use, and proud we didn't. I don't have to tell you what that thing on the left is. That other's a helicopter. Those water lines going up there were 10 3/4-inch water lines. And this is our working area where we assembled all of our dozers, covered our shields for monitors like here. And all this is just plain corrugated tin. and it gives you quite a bit of protection. The floor of that is covered with expanded metal, and there's Coots and myself. We're always drawing something. And the reason we're wearing those sweaters, it was pretty cold in the desert at night. Now this is our big water-cooled hook. This is just to reach in and tear your rig apart so you can remove your your rig away from your well. And this is our first bit of water going into our pits. And here are pits full. I don't remember how long it would take to fill those pits. But this water well would flow, say, 125,000 barrels a day at about 700-pound pressure. Now there's our pits are full, and now the time we start to work. It's just like an invasion. Now there's an aerial view of the work site. All of our water pits are full. Now these are those big monitors. Incidentally, all of these come from the States, too. From Ohio, Akron Brass Company. Now this is a brand new D8 cats. We had 6 of them. We had these 4 here covered to drag the small debris, and the 5th cat we used to run our big water-cooled hook. Now this is the way we drag these skids into the well. You have a chain here and a little eye on the bottom, and you can back up and they'll unhook so a man doesn't have to get out by the heat to get loose from it.
Those are your people in the red outfits?
That's right, you three spot our men is in the red. Now this looks like an invasion of tanks, and this is to go ahead into the well site and go to work. And you can see in the background, this is our big cat with the little platform on the blade that we stand behind that shield and motion to the driver, and he works in a backward position.
It's kind of sandy out there. Is it windy?
Oh, you have lots of wind. We'd have sandstorms, windstorms. We'd have to shut down and quit working. But you can see why they use so much rubber tires in the desert, because what sand does to those tracks on those caterpillars, because they was completely wore out when we finished. And then they can get up and around the heat with those tracks. Now this is the first monitor moved in to get water going. And you cool it quite a bit before you first move to go into the well to look at it and see what you've got. And these are the boys opening the valve to the big pumps. That's a pretty reflection on the water there, isn't it? Now this is your water cooling off the area to go in. And it makes lots of steam. And you move one monitor in and then move the next one a little closer till you get them all within, say, 100 feet of the well. It's just to work your way in like you do here. There's men in there working, tying onto pieces of steel, what's left of the rig to remove it.